Hello and welcome to Brave Souls Rewind, the show where I 200 older characters so you don't have to. Today we'll be taking a look at one of my favorite characters in the show, and my favorite captain, the original Shunsui. He may be an older character, but the fact that he has a decent attack and a really good soul trait means that he might still be useful. As always, I started off with a normal attack damage build, which is undoubtedly Shunsui's best build. As I mentioned earlier, he does have a decent attack, and he has a boosted NAD soul trait. Not only that, but his attack string also has a decent speed. That said, this character does have some flaws. His speed might be okay, but his range isn't the best. It could be worse, but it's not great. So in order to use this build, you kinda have to dodge around a lot if an enemy's targeting you. But it is pretty easy to work around that. What is difficult to get over is his Espada killer, which is pretty much useless at this point unless you're actually doing an Espada raid. Still, I think the damage output makes this build viable. And the fact that he has a vortex move really helps. It may not do all that much damage in this build, but when it comes to NAD damage, it helps with all the enemies are trapped in one place. Next, I tried the strong attack damage build, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting much from this build because of that vortex. It's useful in NAD situations, but not exactly for strong attack damage, because stationary vortexes historically don't do that much damage. But Martin is an equal opportunity employer, so I decided to give this build a shot anyway. And I was right. His damage for his vortex move wasn't that great, and his damage for his strong attack 3 also wasn't that great. The only actual strong attack I liked was his strong attack 1, but I'm not gonna say this is a viable build just for one strong attack. I did think that damage from his normal attacks would be enough to make this build viable, just because with this build you get damage from both angles, but it also wasn't that much. So really with this build you only get a good strong attack 1, and it's just not worth it. Now normally I save the strong attack recharge build for last, and that is what I've done here. However, instead of boosting his SP as far as it could go, I decided to boost his attack instead, and also boost his SP a little. After all, his normal attack was the only redeeming quality so far, so I thought maybe a combination of the two can give you something even better. And I was wrong. It actually doesn't work at all. I shouldn't say that. It does work a little bit, but it really isn't worth sacrificing the normal attack damage links for the strong attack recharge links, because that just means you're getting your disappointing strong attacks twice as fast. It was a little nice to have the vortex move more often, but it wasn't worth sacrificing the normal attack or the strong attack for that matter. So as much as it does pain me to say this build is not viable. Overall, this character is still fun to use, but not exactly viable. Only one of his builds is usable, and even then just barely. The damage was fine, but his normal attack range isn't great. So feel free to use him, but you're better off just using him as a link, unfortunately.
波動の91千手光天大砲
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know what other characters you want to see in a rewind.